Ever wish trading could be more like setting your financial GPS and less like navigating a maze blindfolded?
Yeah.
Today, we're driving into the world of Aldo Marco Ronchisi's expert advisors,
Okay.
or uh, EAs for short.
Right.
These are basically programs designed to automate your trading,
Yeah.
taking some of that pressure off you.
Absolutely.
We've got articles, reviews, and product descriptions,
Okay.
all focused on Ronchisi's profile on the MQL5 platform.
Right.
We'll be looking specifically at his EAs,
Okay.
HedgeRock and GoldHFT,
Uh-huh.
to understand how they work and what makes them tick.
It's fascinating because these EAs are built by someone with serious experience.
Oh, yeah.
Ronchis has been a trader and programmer for over 40 years.
Wow.
He calls himself a perfectionist when it comes to his software
Okay.
and really stresses that his EAs are battle-tested from actual trading.
That's a compelling claim.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider the promise of features like ironclad risk management. It sounds like exactly what someone who wants to learn and profit from trading would be looking for.
Sure.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a step back.
Okay.
For our listeners who might be new to this, can you explain what an EA actually is?
Sure. Imagine you have a set of rules for trading.
Yeah.
Like, buy when the price crosses this line, or sell when this indicator gives a certain signal.
Right.
An EA takes those rules and automatically executes trades for you based on those rules.
Interesting.
It's like having a 247 trading assistant.
So instead of staring at charts all day,
Yeah.
you're essentially handing the reins over to this program.
Exactly.
That sounds pretty appealing, but it also brings up the question of risk.
Right.
Like how much control you're really giving up.
That's a crucial point, and one that Ronchis seems to address head on.
Okay.
He talks a lot about intelligent automation and crystal clear transparency, but even with those assurances, it's important to be aware of the inherent risks in any type of trading. Right.
Automated or not?
Let's talk about those risks then.
Okay.
You mentioned ironclad risk management earlier.
Yeah.
What exactly does that look like in the context of Ronchis's EAs?
Well, if we look at HedgeRock,
Okay.
his flagship EA,
Mm-hmm.
it boasts features like a recovery trade breakdown and calculated lot sizes.
Those sound pretty complex.
Yeah.
So let's break them down for our listeners.
Sure.
Calculated lot sizes mean
Yeah.
the EA automatically adjusts how much you're trading based on your settings and market conditions.
Exactly.
It's trying to keep your risks in check.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just blindly placing trades regardless of your account size or the current market volatility.
Exactly. And that's where the recovery trade breakdown comes in.
Okay.
It suggests the EA has a plan for dealing with losses.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of panicking, it uses a predefined strategy to try and recover lost ground.
Interesting.
Of course, no system is foolproof,
Right.
but it seems like Ronchis has put a lot of thought into mitigating risk. Speaking of risk, let's talk about GoldHFT,
Okay.
the EA that's grabbed attention with its incredible backtest record.
Right.
Turning $1,000 into $8,000 in 24 days sounds almost too good to be true.
It does.
Is that even realistic?
Well, it's important to remember that backtesting is a simulation based on historical data.
Okay.
While it can be a useful tool for evaluating an EA's potential, it's not a crystal ball.
Right.
Live trading conditions are constantly changing,
Yeah.
and past performance is never a guarantee of future returns.
So it's like saying, this car got great mileage on a test track,
Yeah.
but how will it handle rush hour traffic and potholes?
Precisely. And that's where Ronchis's emphasis on intelligent automation comes into play again.
Okay.
GoldHFT uses a 4-neuron neural network, which essentially means it's powered by artificial intelligence.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Neural networks sound pretty high-tech.
They are.
Can you explain that in a way that even someone who's never traded before can understand?
Imagine a detective looking for clues. A neural network is kind of like that, but it sifts through mountains of data at lightning speed.
Wow.
It's looking for patterns in past gold prices that might hint at where the price is going next.
Interesting.
It's not magic, but it can be a powerful tool for making informed trading decisions.
So in theory, this AI could help GoldHFT adapt to market changes
Right.
and potentially avoid some of the pitfalls that might trip up a more rigid EA.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't completely address the risk factor.
True.
What about those real-world trading conditions you mentioned?
Right. That's where features like max drawdown percent and max trades come in.
Right.
These settings allow you to limit how much of your account the EA can risk on any given trade and how many trades it can have open at once.
It sounds like those settings are giving you,
Yeah,
the trader, some control back, right?
absolutely.
It's not just a free-for-all where the EA does whatever it wants.
And that's a critical point for anyone considering using an EA. You're not relinquishing all control.
Right.
You're still the one setting the parameters, defining your risk tolerance, and ultimately deciding how much freedom to give the EA.
So it's more of a partnership than just handing over the keys and hoping for the best.
Exactly.
Now, before we dive deeper into these specific features,
Okay.
I'm curious to know what drew our listeners to the world of EAs in the first place.
Yeah.
What's the allure?
That's a great question. I think for some, it's the appeal of automating a complex process, taking emotions out of the equation and potentially freeing up their time. For others, it might be the allure of those impressive backtest results and the hope of replicating those gains.
Right.
Whatever the reason, it's clear that EAs are a fascinating intersection of technology and trading.
Let's unpack that further. Coming up after the break,
Okay.
we'll delve deeper into HedgeRock and GoldHFT,
Right.
exploring their unique features and how they approach risk management in more detail. Stay tuned.
Sounds good. Welcome back. I hope you're ready to dig a bit deeper into the specifics of HedgeRock and GoldHFT.
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
We touched on features like calculated lot sizes and recovery trade breakdown earlier.
Right.
Can you elaborate on how those actually work?
Sure. Let's start with HedgeRock.
Okay.
Remember, this EA has been in development for over 4 years.
Yeah.
Ron Shees calls it his most adaptable and stable EA. So it makes sense that he's packed it with risk management tools.
4 years of development that suggests a pretty deep understanding of the market
Right.
and a commitment to refining the EA over time.
Exactly. Now, those calculated lot sizes we mentioned were all about position sizing.
Okay.
It's like deciding how much to bet on a hand of cards.
Right.
You wouldn't bet your entire bankroll on a single hand, right?
Unless you're feeling really lucky or reckless.
Right. HedgeRock takes that same cautious approach.
Okay.
It looks at your account balance, your risk settings, and the current market conditions to determine the appropriate position size for each trade.
Interesting.
This helps to ensure you're not risking more than you're comfortable with.
So it's like having a built-in safeguard against overextending yourself.
Yeah.
Even if you get caught up in the excitement of a potential trade.
That's a great way to put it. Now, the recovery trade breakdown is about dealing with those inevitable losing trades.
Right.
No trading system wins all the time.
Yeah.
So it's important to have a plan for when things go wrong.
So what happens when HedgeRock hits a losing streak?
Yeah.
Does it just keep digging a deeper hole?
Not at all. That's where this recovery trade breakdown comes into play. The exact details are proprietary, but it likely involves a strategy for adjusting trade sizes, potentially taking smaller positions until it gets back on track.
So it's not just throwing good money after bad.
Right.
It's more like regrouping and adjusting the strategy based on the current market conditions.
Exactly. Now, remember, HedgeRock also has that max drawdown percent setting we discussed earlier.
Right.
This lets you define the maximum percentage of your account that you're willing to lose before the EA stops trading completely.
Okay.
It's like setting a safety net to protect you from catastrophic losses.
So even if the recovery trade breakdown isn't working as planned, you've got this ultimate backstop to prevent a complete meltdown.
Exactly. It's all about layers of protection. And that's what I find impressive about HedgeRock's approach to risk management.
Okay, so that's HedgeRock.
Right.
What about GoldHFT?
Okay.
It's the one with the AI-powered neural network, right?
It is.
Does it have similar risk management features?
Absolutely. GoldHFT, being focused on high-frequency trading, needs even tighter control over risk.
Right.
Remember, it's making quick decisions in a fast-moving market.
Yeah.
So even small losses can add up quickly if not managed properly.
So what kind of safeguards does it have?
Well, one key feature is the max spread setting. This prevents GoldHFT from trading when the spread, the difference between the buy and sell price, is too wide. A wide spread can eat into your profits.
Yeah.
So this setting helps to ensure that you're only trading when conditions are favorable.
That makes sense. Yeah. Especially for an EA that's potentially making dozens or even hundreds of trades per day.
Right.
those tiny spreads can quickly add up to significant losses.
Precisely. And then there's the internal spread setting.
Okay.
This adds an extra buffer to the spread,
Mhm.
making gold HFT even more cautious about entering trades.
So it's like a double layer of protection against unfavorable spreads.
Exactly.
If you're feeling particularly risk-averse,
Yeah,
you could increase that internal spread to make the EA even more selective about its trades, right?
that's right. And remember, gold HFT also utilizes the standard max drawdown percent and max trades settings, giving you even more control over the EA's overall risk profile.
It sounds like Ron Cheese has put a lot of thought into risk management across both of these EAs.
He has.
But how does he balance that cautious approach with the need to actually make profitable trades?
That's the million-dollar question. And it's one we'll explore further when we delve into the specifics of their trading logic in the next segment.
Okay, before we jump into that,
Yeah.
let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned so far.
Okay.
What are the key takeaways about HedgeRock and Gold HFT's risk management features for our listeners?
I think the biggest takeaway is that these EAs aren't just set it and forget it systems.
Right.
They offer a surprising level of control over risk through their various settings.
They're more like customizable training assistants than completely autonomous robots.
Exactly. And that's a crucial distinction.
Yeah.
It means you can tailor these EAs to your own risk tolerance and trading style,
Okay.
which is something we'll explore even further as we continue our deep dive.
Sounds good. We've talked about risk management, but now I'm really curious to understand how these EAs actually make trading decisions. It's like we've looked at the safety features and now we're ready to see what's under the hood.
Right. It's time for the test drive.
Okay.
Let's start with HedgeRock.
Okay.
It's described as comprehensive and adaptable,
Mm-hmm.
but the specifics of its trading logic are a bit of a mystery.
Is it a black box?
Kind of?
We know it has features like recovery trade breakdown and calculated lot sizes,
Right.
but those are more about risk management,
Yeah,
not the actual trading strategy.
that's true. Ron Cheese doesn't reveal the exact indicators or algorithms HedgeRock uses.
Okay.
He emphasizes its 4 years of development and real-world testing,
Uh-huh.
suggesting it's been fine-tuned based on market experience.
So it's more about trusting his expertise and the EA's track record
Right.
than understanding the nuts and bolts of its decision-making.
Yeah.
That might make some traders uneasy.
Sure, some traders crave transparency,
Mhm.
but others are comfortable with a more hands-off approach.
Sure.
They're looking for results.
Yeah.
And HedgeRock's longevity suggests it's delivering for at least some users.
All right, fair enough. What about Gold HFT?
Okay.
Is there more transparency around its trading logic?
There is.
Okay.
Ron Cheese specifically highlights the use of a 4-neuron neural network,
Right.
meaning it leverages artificial intelligence to make trading decisions.
Okay, we talked about neural networks earlier,
Yeah.
but can you remind me how they work in the context of trading?
Imagine you're trying to predict which way a coin will land.
Oh.
A neural network is like a superpowered analyst
Mhm.
that analyzes thousands of coin flips,
Uh-huh.
looking for patterns in how the coin spins, the force of the flip, even the air temperature.
Wow.
It then uses those patterns to predict the outcome of future flips.
So instead of coin flips,
Right.
Gold HFT's neural network is analyzing tons of historical gold price data,
Exactly.
searching for patterns that might indicate where the price is headed next.
Precisely.
Okay.
And that's one of the big appeals of AI in trading. It can spot subtle relationships that humans might miss,
Right.
and it can adapt to changing market dynamics much faster.
That sounds impressive.
It is.
But how do we know if this neural network is actually any good at predicting gold prices?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, we've got that incredible backtest result,
Right.
but those aren't always reliable, right?
You're right to be cautious. Backtesting is just a simulation,
Yeah.
and past performance is never a guarantee of future success.
Okay.
However, Ron Cheese emphasizes that Gold HFT has been refined through live trading, not just backtests.
Mhm.
He seems to prioritize real-world results.
So he's constantly tweaking and improving Gold HFT based on how it performs in actual trading.
Exactly.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
But I'm still a little curious about the specifics of this neural network.
Okay.
What kind of patterns is it looking for?
Unfortunately, those details are kept under wraps.
Oh.
Ron Cheese doesn't reveal the exact algorithms or indicators used by the neural network.
Yeah.
It's part of his proprietary AI engine.
So we're back to a bit of a black box.
Yeah,
But this time, it's powered by AI.
right.
I guess the question is, how comfortable are you with that level of opacity?
It's a valid concern. Some traders might be hesitant to trust an EA without knowing the exact mechanisms behind its decisions. Others might see the AI as a competitive advantage,
Right.
a way to tap into insights that wouldn't be possible with traditional trading methods.
It seems like there's always a trade-off between transparency and potential performance.
Absolutely. And ultimately, the decision of whether or not to use Ranchi's EAs comes down to individual preference and risk tolerance.
Well, this deep dive has certainly given us a lot to think about.
It has.
We've explored the world of Aldo Marco Ranchi's expert advisors, from their risk management features to their intriguing use of artificial intelligence.
We've learned about HedgeRock, the adaptable and stable EA, and GoldHFT, the high-frequency trader powered by a neural network.
Right.
We've discussed the pros and cons of automated trading, the importance of risk management, and the challenge of evaluating EAs with limited transparency.
We've covered a lot of ground, but remember, this is just the beginning of your journey into the world of algorithmic trading.
There's always more to learn, more strategies to explore,
Right.
and more technologies to discover. So stay curious, stay informed, and as always, happy trading.
That's a wrap on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring.